You have to be more mature than I am.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. At what point in time have I given you any indication whatsoever that I'm even anywhere near the vicinity of close to mature?
I don't know, man. You're usually
It's
more
just my
adultier
age.
than I am.
I know it's just my age.
Example number 1, fuck knuckle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Welcome to the stream, everybody, by the way.
Oh, God. Wait,
I
have you
almost
already...
said out loud, yeah, you bunch of fuck knuckles, but I'm like, I shouldn't say that.
You just...
Yeah, you kinda just did.
Kind of, but not really. So there's an ad for PAX that just popped up on PAX Australia that popped up on Whatsy on Twitch, and I mentioned it to people that I know, but none of them gave a crap. You know who Penny Arcade is, yes?
Yeah.
I met
We don't know what they look like in person, you goof.
what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Gabe.
One of the founders from Penny Arcade.
Yes, I remember. I think you told me.
Ah, I did? Okay.
Yes, because I saw you that weekend.
Ah, yes.
But that's very cool. I was excited about this for you. Was nobody else excited for you?
We didn't
Everyone
know
else is
who
like,
it
who the hell
was.
is this bald guy?
Oh,
I'm like, it's one of the founders, and I said his name in the chat room, and everyone's just like, who? I'm like, it's one of the founders of Penny Arcade.
I wouldn't
They're
know
like,
him by
"Oh,
name,
okay."
but I know Penny Arcade.
Yeah, but we didn't
'Cause,
know
that's
his
the thing.
face either.
Yeah, true.
You goof.
I was so surprised when I spotted him walking through the crowd. I was like, wait, is that who I think it is? And I tapped him on the shoulder. I'm like, holy crap, it's you. And he's like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, Tycho.
Oh, I thought it was Gabe. There you go.
No, it's Tycho. If it was Gabe, I would have flipped out a little more because he plays Jim Dark Magic. And that's I love Jim Dark Magic. When they play Acquisitions Incorporated D&D. Gabe plays Jim Dark Magic, who is a extraordinary mage, and his number one trick is doves from the hand, which is actually
so he's
like
a magician?
they wrote it as a custom spell so that he could do it as a free action whenever he felt like it. So he could just, like, every time he walked up to people, he'd just throw doves in the air just to try and, like, throw them off. And I was just like, it's just so dumb.
There we go.
What the hell? Has my Twitter account been following people I don't
Yes.
know? I think it may have, because apparently I'm following someone who's at Salazar.
Like the Pokemon?
Yes.
I
do not remember.
Is it you or is it Reins?
It's me.
Oh.
I don't remember following this person. I'm looking at the list of accounts I follow, and I follow Robo Rosewater, which is a Magic the Gathering card generator that just automatically posts a randomly generated card whenever when they make one.
Okay.
It just makes the dumbest cards. Like none of them make sense at all. Four mana and 2 black mana sorcery that's just tap target opponent, which is technically impossible, but hey.
That sounds odd. To me, anyway.
You've played Hearthstone, yeah?
Yeah, I've played Magic as well.
Yes. Oh, you have played Magic. I wasn't sure.
You said that last time.
We usually play it at Christmas time.
Well, I guess that's helpful. Because it's almost Christmas.
It is.
I love me some Christmas, man. Love it.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying before,
Christmas?
the dropping some Eves achievement,
It's a reference to Lord of the Rings.
yes, we went through and we managed to find. I think I was on a Mythic 5 or 4. I don't remember. We managed to find the person at the end in like under 2 minutes.
Did you get them first go?
Yes.
See, I'm wondering if that's what it is, that you've got to get it.
Because
first
we
go
ran in
quite
there.
quickly.
We each ran to one of the people, and then like not even 30 seconds later, someone's like, "Oh, it's this guy over here,"
Ow.
and then we just ran straight in and killed them. And it was like, "Oh, that was wow." Because at first when we started it, I was like, "Oh, this bit's a bit painful," and it was like, "No, found him. Let's go." I was like, "Oh, that was quick." So
Okay, that's cool. Well, congrats on getting it.
yeah, there's still a bit of mystery around that achievement. So. Alright, shall we...
I was about to do something terrible.
What?
You know what else is surrounded in mystery?
Oh, shush. That's a guild thing. You don't say that on Twitch.
I'm sorry.
Although it pisses out one of our friends off to no end. Alright, let's go live.
Oh no!
Have fun in the teapot.
No!
I always imagine it like Genie's bottle. Like all
As
fluffy
long as
and
there's
stuff.
snacks, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a mage, you can make
I'll go for
yourself
the snacks.
Yeah, you can. You can make your own snacks.
I really want to make them from that recipe book, man. Oh,
We will. We will.
I want to so bad. Alrighty, have a good show!
Okay.
Make sure my phone is on silent. Yes, it is. Okay. Can you give me... Oh, damn.
Yes.
And you're ready.
Yep, sorry. My phone was just flashing at me when you said, got to put my phone on silent. I'm like, I should check mine, and then it starts popping things up. Okay, I'm going to give you a countdown.
Okay. Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to episode 43 of Reins of Azeroth. I am your host, Paz Weston, and I am joined tonight by Cinder. How are you this week, Cinder?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I've just declared a Cassius Belli on Catherine de Medici, but other than that, I'm doing pretty well.
Okay.
Civ 6.
Okay.
Playing a
So-
lot. Been playing a lot of Civ 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just smile and nod politely and yep. At least I've heard of that.
Yeah. She was sending her filthy religion into my lands, and I didn't like that, so I declared war.
You know what? That's reasonable.
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the names of the religion in case because the religions that the AIs create are actual religions, so I don't want to say what the religion was because I don't want to passively somehow annoy one of our listeners.
Well, but that's just... Can't they make them up? I thought it was just going to be a made-up religion. Like,
Oh no, you can make up a religion. Like you can make
Okay.
up one called Turtle Power or Lions of whatever.
I would totally
but-
follow both of those religions.
I was playing as Scythia, so it was the Scythian lion religion. No, but the AI don't have any like predetermined random names. It's just every city they make is culturally accurate, and when they found a religion, it's either Buddhism, Protestant, Christian, Hindu. Like it's not necessarily in regards to their civilization. Like I've had Rome following Buddhism, which
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
but
That's
it's
different.
just it rolls a dice. and it's like, which
Yeah.
religion are you picking this time, kind
Okay.
of thing. So
Okay.
it's a real religion in that regard. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, have you played some WoW this week though?
A little bit here and there. I got exalted with the Nightfallen, so I knocked out the rest of that. The good Sir Martin, and I started pushing through all of the weekly quests.
Do they give them to you all at once up to the point where it's current, or do you still only get them once a week?
No, I charge through all of them in like 2 days.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like the story wise, you go through. Although the one thing I found a little annoying is the first quest you get of every week is to take the fruit from the tree and feed a random person.
But I actually really like that.
I did too. I liked it the first time I did it, and then like the second time when I had to feed the named people, and then feed a couple of other people. But I was like, it's kind of odd that I'm doing it over and over again because I was doing it straight away because I wasn't doing it weekly, so it felt a little odd.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I think for me, because I've been doing it as it comes out, it's like once a week, and I'm like, yay, I get to save somebody else. And I always try and pick people that look really poorly, like, and children.
None of the waiters.
Yeah, none of the waiters, because I'm like, I know that, having been a waiter myself, I know that later on, you're just having, like, leftover arc wine or something, I'm sure of it. They've got a secret
I thought it was
stash.
because when you click on them, they stare silently at you, waiting for you to take a drink.
I know, but that's creepy. I always
I know,
that's
that's
creepy.
what I meant. It's like, if you're being creepy like that, you're not getting any fruit from this tree, buddy.
At least say hi or something, or make eye contact or something. I don't know.
And if you're a waiter, that's kind of your job. You've kind of got to speak to people.
No, there's like in the super fancy ones, like you just got to not be a person.
I mean, you're in a run-down ruin with a giant tree in the middle.
I know, but like the Nightfallen are all like the proper. And
not the Nightfallen.
Not the Nightfallen, rather. All the other ones. Who were the other ones in Surima? All the ones
the assholes.
Yeah, the assholes. All of the assholes. They're all like, we're going to have our fancy parties. And if one of the waiters dared speak a word, they would have been cast out of their little dome city for insubordination.
Wait, have you been watching Legends of Tomorrow?
No.
Okay, because there is a point where they go back in time to a point during I think it's the Revolutionary War in America, and the black gentleman pretends to be a slave, and he walks through the party and bumps into someone. Sorry, American Civil War. He bumps into someone and like apologizes to her, and then like the man of the house comes over and like full starts going off at him. He's like, you have no rights to look my daughter in the eyes and stuff like that. That's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah.
Although it is funny, as a panda, do they yell at you calling you lowborn scum as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I thought it was just a night elf thing because I'm a night elf, and they yell at me. It's like when like the guards remove my disguise. They yell lowborn scum at me, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm a night elf, but...
No, it's just that you're not one of them. Doesn't matter what you are.
Yeah. And even when they die, they're not like, oh, I was wrong. It was, I'm dead.
No, it's like, how could I be beaten by one so pathetic? Like, it's just like, you know what? I did. I smacked your ass.
A bit of an oxymoron
you
there,
dead
buddy,
now.
But,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're up to speed on that. That means that you're going to have your mount soon, which is cool.
Yes.
Like, soon, as in the same time as everyone else. It's good that they let people catch up. You have a couple of other ones that you haven't said.
Yes. As with everybody else who's been keeping up with it, I have unlocked Unleashed Monstrosities, which I'm really annoyed about because... I haven't done the quest line to get the first artifact skin, so I can't use this skin tint. It doesn't count, even though it should.
Wait, what?
The Balance of Power quest line
Yeah.
that unlocks for Beast Mastery Hunters Lex Thunder. The second skin tint to complete Unleash Monstrosities. It doesn't
Oh, I didn't
unlock
realise that.
unless you've got the first one.
You've got the
which is apparently
yeah.
the forums are not happy about this.
Yeah,
And I'm not
that's-
either, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can't do it in LFR. That's the one thing I don't like. You cannot collect the essence in LFR. And you also have to kill Xavius at least once. And it's like,
Xavier's
well,
on LFR is doable like that, and
no,
because...
on normal.
Oh, on normal. Oh,
You have to do that
Oh.
quest line on normal. Blizzard has come out and said this will not be done in LFR.
yeah. Okay. See, if they're gonna gate it by content like that, so like normal ones or mythic dungeons and stuff like
Yeah.
that are part of that, I agree that that should not be the base for unlocking the rest of the skins. Like,
Yes,
because it's
and the
not.
third-
It shouldn't be the base as like,
No, it
just
shouldn't.
'cause
The
it's
third
first in
skin
the list,
tint
who
is
cares?
for getting all the achievements from mythic dungeons. That's the third skin tint.
Yeah.
And it's like that I can do without ever going into raid. Like if I had a group of people, I could do that without ever going into the raid. And it's like I don't know what the fourth skin tint is, but it's kind of sucks.
Yeah, I do hope they change that. I was of the impression that if you unlocked any of them from the line, it didn't matter what order it was in, that you would have access to that. That's kind of the point to me.
The only thing is all the rest of them are unlocked sort of in order. Like the skin tints, like
Yeah.
you have to unlock the upgraded weapon, and then the next skin tint is to unlock every single node. And then for the hidden ones, it's unlock the hidden artifact and then use the hidden artifact.
Which is fine, that one
as you
makes sense
go.
because that is the base. You can't get the rest
But-
without that one. But that with Unleash
but-
Monstrosities, no.
Yeah, and the thing is with the hidden artifacts, if I have my Brewmaster hidden artifact, which I do, and I do 100 or 200 dungeons, I can then use the hidden Mistweaver second color variant, but not the first one.
Okay.
Because I've done 200
don't
world
have the
quests with a
hidden
hidden
Mistweaver.
artifact.
Yeah. Unless
Yeah.
it won't actually like it may do the same thing where you won't have access
No,
to
it does.
same as...
It doesn't. You can use it.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Well, that doesn't make sense then. Why Unleashed Monstrosities one? That's weird. I do
No
hope
idea.
they change that. I do hope they.
I
change
hope
it.
so too. I did a few mythic dungeons. I got dropping some eves from
Nice. Court of Stars.
Court of Stars. That's the one. Yeah, it was a bit weird. I didn't think we finished the dungeon that quick. Although we just have like a couple minutes left on mythic. I don't remember how long. I think it was like 7 or 8 minutes. We got the spy on the first go. We had the spy done in like under a minute. Like we found the right person and killed them, and so
Yeah.
it was really quick. So I think speed is kind of and making sure you get the person first.
Yeah.
Go, I think
Yeah.
is the key to that.
Well, they definitely seem to be strong contributing factors at the very least. So.
Yeah. Spoke about the Nightfall and Exalted. That also means I got a classy outfit.
Congrats.
And Good Samaritan. I wish that achievement carried over to all the other classes.
What do you
I
mean?
could just go and... So when I hit 110, I could just automatically go and buy all the class hall armor on all my
okay.
characters.
Yep. Yeah.
Kind of like Pathfinder, which I have
Yep.
as well.
Yeah.
The 20% speed boost is really noticeable at first.
Oh, I hadn't. To be honest, I didn't notice it, but it was a little while ago. I didn't.
And the only thing I've noticed is that if you run directly at one of the illusion breakers, you still can't get out of their circle.
No, you can't.
Even with the
You
extra
definitely
20%.
can't. Yeah.
I thought I'm going 20% faster. I should be able to make it out. But like on the mana saber mounts, it's like your back legs are just in the ring as he casts it. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, I always
yeah.
blame my fat panda butt.
Yeah. So what about you?
Well, for me this week, we got down Mythic Scenarios, which was really great on Sunday.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We got it down faster than some other bosses. This one was one that everyone's like, it's definitely the hardest in the whole lot. Be prepared to be working on this for quite a while, and so like we were really bogged down into, yeah, we're going to be here for a little while. We're mentally prepared for this. And I think we ended up having fewer attempts on Cenarius than we did on Il'gynoth. And I think that just comes down to we've just got a lot more gear and we can push things through a lot faster. But anyway, that was really good. So we had a little bit of time on Mythic Xavius as well, which is great. Anyway, I'll be really glad if we can get it. I'll be very glad if we can get it. I finished getting exalted with all of the Legion factions on the weekend because of the bonus, the World Quest bonus and the reputation bonus for the week, which was nice. Which also gave me 30 exalted reputations achievement, which was genuinely a really big surprise because of being on, like, my shaman I've only had since full time. I've only had her since Warlords of Draenor. So I was a bit surprised to get 30 exalted reps on her, but that was really cool. I got the legendary research achievement, which is that, doing your class hall research to be able to equip 2 legendaries. Not that I have to. Thor, on the other hand, got 2 legendaries in 2 days. Like,
Oh, nice.
I mean, grats for him, but I'd like another one, please.
In regards to legendaries, there's a little bit of news on that as well.
Oh.
The how there's the whole. Well, we'll talk about it in the news section. You can finish up.
Oh,
first.
no, that's
I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you're right. There's a toy that I got, but I can't remember what it was, and because the servers were down just before this, I didn't get a chance to check. So I don't know what toy it was, but I have been working through getting the Raiding with Leashes achievement pets in all the Lich King raids, and Ice Crown does not want to give me any pets. 2 characters I took through there, and not a single pet dropped for either of them. So rude.
Fair enough. Yes.
News!
Yes, like I was saying, the bad luck counter, which the devs have put in so that the longer you go without getting a legendary, the more chance you are of getting a legendary.
Yes.
Apparently just stops working once you get 4.
Well, until now.
Until now.
Yep.
There was a lot of... the reason the devs came out and, spoke about all this was because there was a lot of speculation, people had for, and were like, well, should I delete one of the ones that's crap so that then I have a chance of getting my 5th? And but people are just like, well, you've got 4. It doesn't. You've been given 4. It doesn't say how many do you have on you. So yeah, and the devs came out and said, no, don't delete the legendaries that you have. It won't do anything.
It's based on how many you've received, not what you have. So, which is actually really good to know for other things as well. Like if that's how the bad luck protection works for loot drops in raids and things like that. It kind of makes me even sadder when I keep getting duplicates of my drops because I'm like, that duplicate just wasted my bad luck protection. I'm very sad.
Yeah, I wish there was some duplicate protection.
Yeah, that would be really
but yeah,
nice.
people have said that you cannot get the same legendary twice.
Well, there were people at the start who did get 2 of the same one.
Oh, there were?
Yeah, they had to hotfix it because some people had been really lucky, and I'm using the term in quotation marks. They got really lucky because they got 2 legendaries, except that they were the same.
Were they in the same spec?
I have no idea. I don't know, but it was one of the very early hotfixes that they had to do. It was around about the same time when they made it so that if you had 1, you you couldn't get a second one super quickly. Like, you know how they brought that in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it. It was done at the same time as that.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, that's fixed now. So if you have 4,
Lucky you, and you might be getting some more.
Yes, you still have that protection, so you won't be going forever without ever getting a 5th. But I mean, once you have all of them, yeah. Congratulations, I guess. I just want a better one than the one that I have. I mean, I would have settled for any other one except the one that I got.
Oh.
So, yeah.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, it's annoying. But that's it for legendaries. The main topic this week is the Darkmoon Fair. Obviously, 99% of the information we get is from Wowhead. They have a brilliant guide.
It's so big. It's so big.
It's ridiculous. They have so much information. Although, it's funny, I did actually find one of their older guides on the Darkmoon Fair.
Yeah.
That had pictures from, like, the very first Darkmoon Fair.
Oh, that's
I think
so
it was.
cute.
And it was like, this is where it pops up. And I'm like, wow, it looks like a very bad graphics version of the same place. It looks almost the exact same, which is really funny. Obviously, the Darkmoon Fair is not around all the time. It runs for a full week from the first Sunday of each month. So you have plenty of time to take part in the Darkmoon Fair. If you don't know how to get to the Darkmoon Fair, there are mystic mages that hang around in all capital cities that, for 30 silver, will port you to the portal to the Darkmoon Fair in either Goldshire or Mulgore. Going through the portal takes you to Darkmoon Island. You have to run down a bit of a path, but it's not too bad. There are free mounts there, temporary mounts that you can take if you don't have a mount, if you're on a low-level character or anything. Now, when it comes to the Darkmoon Fair, you need prize tickets.
You get prize tickets. You need
anything.
Tokens.
Oh, tokens. Oh, sorry.
Is that what you're meaning?
Mixed up.
Yeah, I do too. Because, and I think a couple of times in the guide as well, they mixed up tokens with tickets. And I'm just like, I'm so confused. The tokens you use to play the games, the tickets are the prizes that you get, which then, as you've said, you can use to buy other stuff.
Yes, and I was correct in saying tickets, because you need a lot of tickets to buy a lot of stuff. There is tons of stuff that you can buy from the Darkmoon Fair. Oh gosh, the Darkmoon Fair is a lot of stuff. So
yeah, this is going to be more than one episode, guys. So we're not going to cover everything in this one episode. We're not joking. There is so much that you can do. It can, in some ways, feel a little bit overwhelming. I know at times I'm kind of like, I can't do all of this every month. So just pick something that you want to focus on. But yeah, we'll cover this over multiple episodes.
There are someone's with Wowhead obviously has done the maths, worked it out. You can get a total of 281 prize tickets per month if you do everything every day. So you get 105 for completing both pet dailies for 7 days, 80 from the dungeon and PvP artifacts, which are a bit of a pain, but they can be bought on the auction house, so you can buy a bunch of them. 42 from completing the 6 mini games over 7 days, 20 from the primary and secondary profession quests, 10 for turning in the Grizzly Trophy quest, 10 for completing Den Mother's Demise, 14 for completing the Real Race and the Real Big Race for 7 days. And so that's 281 total. Now, there are a few... I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so all the quests are per character. So if you are really diehard, and there are some kind of smaller things that you want to get, you can do this across multiple characters. The only pet battle stuff is the only thing that's account-wide. So that's just a couple of tickets that you don't get. Now, when it comes to rewards, there are mounts, 2 of them. There are a ton of pets, a ton of transmog stuff, and then a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't even know because I don't think I have half the rewards from the Darkmoon Fair. You can get additional tickets in a couple of different ways. The fair technically starts before dailies reset on Sunday, so you can kind of jump in there quickly and get an extra 23 tickets if you've got the right time. The Darkmoon Game Prize, which is an item that gives you tickets, you can mail to your alt. So if one alt has just enough to buy something, you can send that through. There is the Darkmoon Dominator event. I don't actually know what that is. Is that the PvP thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can loot the chests in there for about 5 tickets. There is a faded treasure map that you can buy for 100 Darkmoon Daggermore, the fish. So either buy them on the auction house or fish them up. I'd recommend just fishing them up. Which will start Silas's secret stash, and that will get you his secret stash, which will contain 100 prize tickets. So that's one extra thing you can do. There is the Darkmoon ticket fanny pack on the Black Market Auction House, which is in Nagrand by the Ring of Blood. Do you know where this is?
In Dalaran. In the Black Market Auction House is now in Dalaran.
Oh, it's in the actual... Okay, sorry.
In the underbelly.
Yes.
That's okay. I just
Yes.
realized because it was from the guide, and the guide still says
Yes.
Nagrand.
I thought it was a sneaky sort of extra little thing somewhere.
Yeah,
but
no.
And it can contain a lot of tickets. But obviously that means that... The other thing is, obviously, it's on the Black Market Auction House, so you have no idea how much it'll cost you. So don't bet on it.
Unless you've got lots of gold to throw away.
True. But it doesn't always appear, so it's random.
Yeah, it is very random.
It says it can contain between 300 and 500 tickets. So if you get over 400 tickets, you can get both amounts and be done with it.
Nice. We were going to have, the way that we're going to break it up is today's just going to be mostly around about how to get the tickets and the profession stuff. The next episode will be on everything that you can buy, because I started looking at it, I'm like, oh, you can get this and this and this, and then I realized how long I was scrolling for, and I'm like, yeah, I think we need just one episode to talk about everything that you can buy. So yeah, just keep that in mind for next week. We'll talk about where you can get all the toys and transmogs and things like that. Just go collect your tickets.
Yeah. So the Darkmoon Despoiler, which is a achievement, which is to turn in 9 artifacts, which you can start looting these if you buy the Darkmoon Adventurer's Guide. It doesn't necessarily need to be in your bag. It can be in your bank. So you don't need to take up an extra bag slot, but it will take up a bank slot, so it's up to you. They drop from a whole bunch of different places. Turning in all 9 artifacts will get you 80 tickets per Darkmoon Fair, so every time the fair rolls around. Now, there's a...
The Darkmoon Adventurer's Guide is the item that you get when you first rock up to the Darkmoon Fair for the first time. So
okay, I thought I bought it.
You can get it back if you at some point in time said, stuff this, I don't have any room in my bags, which is a lot of people. So you can get it by default by showing up to the Darkmoon Fair, or if you've traded it in, you can go speak to Selena Dorman just by speaking to her. If you still have the Darkmoon Fair quest in your quest log, she's not going to give you the guide, because obviously you're going to get it by finishing the quest. So just finish the quest or remove it from your quest log, whatever you want to do. But you can't have the quest and get her to give it to you. It's one or the other. Pick.
Okay. Now, getting the artifacts You can get them in a whole bunch of different ways. There are PvP artifacts. There are, which is just the one?
3.
I cannot remember.
There's 3 for PvP.
Okay.
There's
Yes,
one. You go ahead.
The Fallen Adventurer's Journal, the Banner of the Fallen, and the captured insignia can be looted while in a battleground. The Soothsayer's Rune drops off raid bosses. And then you have the Imbued Crystal, the Monstrous Egg, the Mysterious Grimoire, the Ornate Weapon, and a Treatise on Strategy that drop from dungeons. So you can get them in different ways, but getting them will give you a quest, which you turn in, and you will get anywhere between 5 and 15 tickets and 250 Darkmoon Fair Rep. So it's kind of easy. You can buy them off the auction house, like I said. It just depends on your server, how much they're worth. Some servers, they can be as little as like 100 gold each, even less. But just depends.
Yeah, these can be really great if you're short of time and if you're just shy of getting something to buy with your tickets. The key thing with them is that you can only you can do these once every Darkmoon Fair. So every month when it rolls around, you can get 80 of these if you have each of them. So just keep that in mind. If you're trying to save up, this can be a good way to do it. So it is really handy having the Adventurer's Guide in your bags or your bank or whatever, just always, so that you're passively getting these things. Because if you have a couple of the same artifact as well, you can sell them on the auction house
or send them to next month.
Yeah, exactly. Or keep them to the next month. You can't the items themselves, obviously, because they're not bind on pickup. You can mail them to your alts as well if you want to stash them on an alt.
That is true. Yeah. Now, the other way to get, well, one of the other big ways is the fair favors, which are the profession quests. You can complete 6 profession quests per month, 2 for your primary and 4 for secondary. You will get, obviously, prize tickets from all of this. I don't know why I keep saying it. I don't know why I keep wanting to say prize tickets over and over again. You can switch professions if you really want to, but you have to have a certain skill level for some of the
all of them
professions.
Is
it different on all of them, or is it the same?
It's all 75.
All 75? Okay.
Yeah.
So getting it to above 75, which can be a bit of a pain, and it's probably not worth wasting your time.
But it is handy to know if you do change partway through. Like if you're I've had enough of alchemy, I'm going to be an engineer instead. You can change it partway through and still benefit from the +5 skill points.
Yeah. So, do you want to tell us what alchemy will get us?
Yeah, so look, it is really important. Well, not really important. I'm finding these really important at the moment because dual crafting is quite painful. I've only got 5 skill points left to get, so I will finally have maxed out dual crafting this weekend. All of my recipes are either grey or green, which just, I'm like, it's so expensive to make stuff. I'm not going to waste the gems. So looking forward to this. The most important thing about a few of these profession quests is that you're going to need some stuff with you to complete them. And these things aren't available at the fair itself. So we're going to go through what you need for each of these particular profession quests and to let you know what you need in advance, because it will just save you so much time if you've done all of this beforehand. So the first one is alchemy. The quiz that you'll get is called a fizzy fusion. And for this one, it says, use the cocktail shaker to combine moonberry juice and fizzy fair drink to create 5 servings of moonberry fizz. This is one that you need to have stuff in advance. So moonberry juice is not available anywhere in Darkmoon Fair. The vendors that are nearest to the portals, so at the end of the jetty, at the very edge, right by the water, are the portals that you can take to go back to Thunderbluff or Elwyn Forest, depending on your faction. For the Horde, there is a vendor called Kuruk, Kuruk, who is in Thunderbluff. And for the Alliance, you've got Innkeeper Farley in Elwyn Forest, and they will both have the Moonberry juice, so you can purchase that from them. You'll need 5 of them. The fizzy fair drink that you need to combine with it is available from the person who gives you the quest, Selenia. Once you've got them, you use the cocktail shaker thing that you get and you make the things and you hand it over. It's really straightforward. You'll get a game token, you'll get some prize tickets, and most importantly, you'll get 5 alchemy skill points. You'll also get 250 reputation with the Darkmoon Fair faction itself.
Yep.
Blacksmithing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, almost all of these require you to just craft an item on the spot. Most of them. I'm assuming blacksmithing, you probably need an anvil. But most of them, you can just kind of stand there. If you have everything, you stand there and you just craft it in front of the person, then hand it straight back in. So.
Yeah. For blacksmithing, it is a quest called Baby Needs 2 Pair of Shoes. This one, use the iron stock to craft 4 horseshoes, then apply the horseshoes to Baby at the Darkmoon Fair. If you have a thermal anvil, you can do this on the spot, obviously. If you don't, there are anvils and forges found around the Darkmoon Fair grounds, which doesn't seem safe to me, but anyway. You can find one behind the replica and heirloom traders, and there's also another one near the first aid area where the injured carnies are. So if you don't have a thermal anvil, you can go there. You can craft the horseshoes, and then you run back to Baby, who from memory is a horse. Oh, I can't remember. I should have had a look. And I'm pretty sure you need to click them on, and that will give you 5 blacksmithing skill up points. Enchanting is really gross. Enchanting, the quest is called Putting Trash to Good Use. Collect 6 Soothsayer's Dusts by disenchanting discarded weapons found around the grounds of the Darkmoon Fair. So, if you take a step back and just look around the Darkmoon Fair, it's like a bit of a tip, which is pretty normal for people because, like, if you go to any public event in like real life in the world, people turn it into a tip because they just throw rubbish on the ground, which is very bad. But if you're an enchanter, you can help clean up your Darkmoon Fair, and you can run around and you can pick up some discarded weapons. Why people are throwing weapons on the ground, I don't know. It's not like Reaper's in the game with this chucking of his things and stuff. Anyway, you can click on the weapons, and then you just right click on them when they're in your bags. You don't need to use your just disenchanting ability that you have as an enchanter. That won't actually work. You just need to right click on them to disenchant them to get your Soothsayer's Dusts, and then you can hand that back in, and that'll give you 5 enchanting skill points, which is yay. In engineering is Talk and Tonks, which says repair 5 damaged steam tonks around the grounds of the Darkmoon Fair. Again, rubbish everywhere. There's damaged tonks that are all around the Darkmoon Fair. Basically, you can click on one to target it and then use the wrench that you get given as part of the quest, and that will fix it. And yay, you have 5 engineering skill points. Really easy.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Yes. So for herbalism, the quest is Herbs for Healing. Gather 6 dark blossoms from around the Darkmoon Fairgrounds. Obviously, track the herbs on your minimap, and you'll find them pretty easily. And that obviously gives you +5 to herbalism. If you're maxed, you're just doing this for prize tickets. So, yeah. For inscription, you have Writing the Future, which is to use the bundle of exotic herbs to make prophetic ink, and then combine the ink with light parchment to create Sage's Fortunes. This will require 5 parchment, which must be in your bags. Obviously, you mill the herbs by right-clicking them. You don't actually need to use the mill option. And light parchment, I'm pretty sure you can just get off, like, if you have the Traveler's Tundra Mammoth.
I'm just double-checking.
Pretty sure you can, because that's where my monk gets most of his. But yes, and that obviously +5 inscription. For jewel crafting, keeping the fair sparkling is the quest. Find bits of glass around the grounds of the Darkmoon Fair and craft it into 5 sparkling gemstones. And that's in air quotes, so...
Yeah, they're just silly.
The bits of broken glass will be sparkling on the ground. Click them, collect them, turn them into the gems, and then hand it back in.
And then be happy.
Yes.
Sorry, that's maybe that's just me. Sorry. I'm really looking forward to it.
I did it for leatherworking as well.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most expensive ones.
Mm.
So leatherworking has Eyes on the Prize, which is to use the Darkmoon Craftsman kit to make 5 Darkmoon prizes, which requires a total of 10 shiny baubles, 5 coarse thread, and 5 blue dye. Shardy Mistrunner in Thunderbluff will sell this, and in Elven Forest, Theron Bowden sells this as well. Yeah, you just most of the stuff you have to come in with, which is kind of annoying, especially if you forget or if you buy 9 instead of 10. I've done that a few times, I think. So
apparently, one of the vendors on the docks will sell the shiny baubles. It's the thread and the dyes that you definitely can't get anywhere at the Darkmoon Fair. But yeah.
Yeah. So you just right click on the kit with all the stuff in your bags, and you make the toys and hand them back in. For mining, you have Rearm, Reuse, Recycle, which is to collect 6 pieces of Tonk scrap from around the Darkmoon Fair. Obviously, you just have to find the stuff on the floor. They can't be tracked with track mineral with mining, so you just kind of have to look for them yourself. For
They
skinning,
sparkle,
you
though.
have anything that's left on the ground will sparkle, so anything quest related. For skinning, you have Tan My Hide, which is to scrape 4 staked skins from around the grounds of the Darkmoon Fair. They're all over the place. They kind of look like a trampoline, but if you know how skinning works, it's a stretched hide.
Yes, a trampoline.
Well,
it just makes me think of the trampoline in Hyjal had to throw the bears on. The little bear cubs
actually, that
to get them
does.
to
Yeah,
safety.
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that reminds. Yeah,
I know that it's I know that what it's supposed to be, but I'm a child, so it's a trampoline.
Fair enough. Now for tailoring. Sorry. Banners everywhere. Use coarse thread, red dye, and blue dye to make a Darkmoon banner kit. With a Darkmoon banner kit to make a Darkmoon banner, then set it up in a pile of loose stones on the grounds. So you'll need 1 coarse thread, 1 red dye, and 1 blue dye. Obviously, it's the same as previously. Shardy Mistrunner and Theron Bowden will sell them. Combine these items with the kit to make the banner and plant it in a pile of stones. Not 100% sure where the actual location is, but I'm sure it will be on your map because it's a quest, so it shouldn't be too difficult.
You'll see them around the place. If you're stuck, the quest itself on Wowhead has pictures of what it looks like, and a map of where they all are. They're not off in the middle of nowhere. They are close by the main road in the middle.
Yep. For archaeology, you have Fun for Little Ones, which is to bring 15 fossil fragments to Professor Thaddeus Paleo. If you have the mount, you don't need to care. But it will take it straight out of your collection. So it's not like you have to go and find a specific kind of fragment in that regards, but it's still technically a fossil fragment. So if you have 200 and you just haven't bothered picking whatever's next on your queue, you can kind of just keep 200-ish around for the Darkmoon Fair.
Yeah, this is the only one that you don't actually do at the Darkmoon Fair itself. Like, all of the other ones, you're doing something there. This is one where it's like, go away and bring me back something. And, yeah. So,
And it's really cool because basically what he does is he just buries them in the sand pit for the kids to find.
Yeah, I hope that they're cleaned first.
I'm sure he does. Do you want to say the last 3?
Yeah, so the next one is cooking. And the quest is putting the crunch in the frog. For this one, you need to prepare 5 crunchy frogs by breading your plump frogs with simple flour and then frying them in the cauldron behind Stamp Thunderhorn. So for this one, this is another one where you need to bring some stuff with you before you get there. You're going to need 5 simple flour. Again, the closest vendors to the portals are Shady Mistrunner in Thunderbluff and Theron Bowden, did we say, in Elven Forest. The frogs will be provided. You don't have to catch any frogs. And so just click on the things and click at the froggies and then put them in the cauldron and cook them and yay, you have some frogs. Oh, I don't know. Enjoy. But 5 cooking skill points, which is the most important part. For first aid, the quest is putting the carnies back together again. For this one, use the Dark Moon Bandage to heal 4 injured carnies. They're just sitting around feeling all sorry for themselves, and they're right next to where you go pick up the quest. So just run around and target them and use the bandages, and you heal them. It's like magic. And
I
again,
need to do this.
Yeah, I've been because
This first aid in Legion sucks.
I don't mind it. I'm not overly bothered by not having that maxed out though, so that's why I'm not like, oh, I've got to get this done. So I'm okay with that.
I've never find the quest items, and there's no other way to increase your first aid past a certain point without finding the quest items, and it's like, this is kind of annoying.
Yeah, I agree. It is frustrating that there isn't any other way other than Darkmoon Faire or just hoping for a random drop. I think that your best bet really is just to keep doing your world quests, because that's where I've always gotten mine, has just been randomly dropped from world quests. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always do this one because it's the same guy that offers me the dual crafting one, so I just kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And the last one is for fishing. The quest is called Spoilin' for Salty Sea Dogs, and for this one you just need to catch 5 great sea herring in the ocean around Darkmoon Island. You can just fish anywhere. People say that you have to fish in the shipwreck debris pools and stuff like that. You can, from what I understand though, you don't have to. Other people were like, no, I just cast anywhere in the water and I got 5. So yay. So, you know, it's they come up pretty quickly. There's a bunch of other stuff as well with regards to professions on the Darkmoon Faire. So with cooking, in patch 6.2, they brought out a bunch of extra cooking recipes that grant versatility and that will scale to work at all levels. So for the first one, it's the Fancy Darkmoon Feast. This will cost you 50 Darkmoon Daggermore, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And for this one, it's going to give you some food, but it's going to dress them fancily. So they'll put you in Gilneas clothes and hat and stuff, which is really cool. And yeah, you get the whole restores your health and mana, and you get well fed, and you get extra versatility for 20 minutes. So for this one, it takes 10 Darkmoon Daggermore to purchase. You need to have cooking at level 225 to actually craft the feast itself. And then it takes 50 Darkmoon Daggermore to actually cook, like make it. Like to make the item.
And obviously this is a feast. So something you throw down so everybody can eat it. Obviously, if you need versatility in raid, is the one you need, but so there's a better feast out there for raiding. So
yeah, but it could be good for like leveling and stuff like that. That's for sure. Like if you grinding,
and it'd be good for the screenshot at the end if you actually get the kill. Everybody wearing fancy clothes.
That's very true. There's 2 others that are in a similar boat. So we've got the Lemon Herb Fillet, which takes 10 Darkmoon Daggermore to make. This one will cost 2 Darkmoon Daggermore to purchase and only requires level 1 cooking to make it. And the Sugar Crusted Fish Feast, which takes 25 Darkmoon Daggermore to make. It takes 5 to purchase it, requires cooking 150 to make it. And this one doesn't look like it does anything fancy at all. So the Fancy Darkmoon Feast is the one that you want. And I don't know, Fancy Feast, isn't that like a cat food brand here?
Yes, it is.
So that's cooking with Darkmoon Daggermore, which is part of the fishing stuff. So there's, and again, like I said, we will talk about everything that you can buy later because there's heaps of stuff with the Darkmoon Daggermore that you can do and whatnot. We're just talking about mostly how to get these things. Am I correct? You fish this up anywhere around the island?
Anywhere.
So it doesn't have to be in pools or anything. It's just wherever.
If you fish a pool, you won't get them.
Okay. There you go. So the guide tells us that, if you're fishing around the Dark Moon Island, you have a chance to get the sea pony, which is a pet rather, which is great. There's sealed crates, which have a bunch of what I think are just crap in them. I don't know. I don't think there's anything interesting in them, but that's just me. And
there are people that go through and fish up crates because there are some rare stuff that you can get in them, but mostly it's just reselling all the stuff you get from the auction house. And obviously the sealed crates come from the crate pools, the wreckage pools. It's the only place you can get them, really. I think they're kind of rare fishing normally. They're like 100% straight from the pools, so.
Okay. And there's the Dark Moon fishing cap, which can increase your fishing skill by 5, and it looks really funny. There's also the bloated thresher, which I recall you talking about when you're fishing up for your mount. That is like you click on it and open it, and it's got Dark Moon Daggermore inside of it.
Yes.
Oh, so gross. How many do you know? Like, do you recall?
Between 5 and 10.
That's cool. That's good.
And the fishing cap only lasts in your inventory for, I think it's an hour or two. So it disappears.
Okay, yep.
So it's not a permanent thing. But obviously, you'll fish up another one fairly quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the ones that you'd get in the garrison, yeah?
Yes. I wish I could have kept those, though.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to talk about what we can buy with our Dark Moon Daggermores?
Yes. So, obviously, we've mentioned previously the mount that you can get. And aside from that, there are several things. There's Blorp's Bubble, which is a pet. There is a Translucent Shell, which is a pet. The Seafarer's Slide Whistle, I'm not sure what that is. It's a toy, which you blow on a slide whistle.
As you do. I've heard people in guild with that. I think it drives me bonkers.
But the best thing about it is it doesn't have like any 5-hour cooldown. Like most silly toys.
Yep.
Obviously the Faded Treasure Map is on that list, which turns into the quest to find the secret stash, which will contain 100 Dark Moon prize tickets and 3 random Dark Moon elixirs. You can buy Dark Moon Firewater, which allows faster gathering of resources and slightly increased size for an hour. So, if you need that while you're picking herbs or mining, helpful.
Yeah, that's actually really good to know. I didn't know that one.
Yes. You have the Day-Old Dark Moon Donut, which increases your fishing by 200 for 10 minutes, but it only lasts for a day. So it's kind of hit and miss. So if you don't use it straight away, then it's going to disappear. Now, I should have said Blorp's Bubble is worth 50. Translucent Shell is worth 100. Seafarer's Slide Whistle is 25. The Treasure Map is 100. The Firewater is 25. The Day-Old Donut only costs 1. You mentioned the 3 recipes previously, and the Darkwater Skate, 500 Daggermore. Now, obviously, getting everything means a lot of fishing. But if you have nothing else to do, when the Dark Moon Fair is on, you might as well fish up 500 and then the rest.
Yeah, see, if I was smart, although it wasn't, no, never mind. I was just going to say, if I was smart, then while I was having my Gilmore Girls marathon on the weekend, I would have done this, but Dark Moon Fair wasn't on, so I couldn't. It's okay, nope. I did not miss an opportunity.
Well, plan your next marathon around the Dark Moon Fair.
Yeah, I probably will.
But, yeah, so that's that vendor. Obviously, you can buy Dark Moon Daggermore. I wouldn't recommend it. They're extremely expensive, especially on the first week that the mount was live. I think the day before the mount went live, or like the day before the news hit, they were going for silver for like a stack or something, like 50.
Yeah.
But then they went up to about 80 gold a piece.
Wow.
On some servers. Even over 100 gold a piece on some servers, and it was just like, I'm just going to do some fishing.
Yeah.
So,
I need some gold, I'm going fishing.
Yes. So it's just that kind of thing. Now, inscription-wise, obviously there are Darkmoon trinkets. I have never understood how the trinkets work. Do you have any clue?
Yeah, I do. I can help with this. I've done this. I don't have an active inscriptionist, but I've done this a couple of times. So, in the past, there's always been the Darkmoon Fair trinkets, and the way that it works is that you can craft decks of cards. So imagine you got your deck of cards and it goes ace through. It doesn't say here. Anyway, there's a certain number of them. When you have the full set, you can then combine them and trade that set in for the related trinket. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
You build the deck of cards and you trade it in for a trinket.
Correct, yeah. Each expansion has a different set of cards to collect for these trinkets. Now, the reason why these tend to be a little bit expensive, aside from the cost of the ink to craft these cards,
they were generally best in slot, weren't they?
Sometimes, yeah.
At the start of an expansion.
Yeah, and look, even then, sometimes they can fluctuate to be really amazing. I don't really know about Legion Darkmoon trinkets. I remember in Warlords there was one that was like, yes, you really want this, but it was also crazy expensive because of that. The thing with this, and the reason why this takes a little bit of time and why they tend to be a little bit expensive, is that when you craft the card, it's random. So there's one spell that is to craft Darkmoon card of the Legion, which is the Legion one. You don't have control over what you're going to make, and so you're going to get any random card for the collection for that particular expansion. That can be great unless you're waiting for like one of them. Now they're BOE, so you can sell them on the auction house, which means that if you're just missing one, you can fill in the blank and buy it off the auction house and trade that, like hand that in. It's one of those things that I think you have to actively do. I feel like it's a daily. Like, I feel like it's a thing that you can only do once per day. I could be wrong, but I thought that there were limitations on it. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that. But it's random, and so you just kind of pot luck.
And there
basically
are 32 cards. The 4 suits they have are Dominion, Hellfire, Promises, Immortality, and you get Ace to 8.
Yeah.
So it's extremely random. Obviously, if you can make them and you're happy to just put a bunch of cards out, pump a whole bunch of the cards out as quickly as you can and get them up on the auction house, and I'm sure most of them will sell. Price-wise, I don't know.
There are definitely some that are more common than others. When they're crafted, you'll see it pretty quickly. The thing with this is that anyone is able to combine the full deck of cards and hand it in and get the trinket, but only inscriptionists can craft the cards themselves. So if you're not an inscriptionist, you can go nuts, spend all your gold on the auction house, and if it turns out to be cheaper to buy the individual cards, great, do that. But yeah, so the technique to purchase, to craft the Darkmoon cards, you can buy ranks 2 and 3 from the Darkmoon Fair. So you'll want to see Professor Thaddeus Paleo, who sells these. Rank 2 will cost you 50 Darkmoon tickets, and rank 3 will cost you 250 Darkmoon tickets, which sounds like a lot, and it is. However, if you do have a look on Wowhead, it actually shows you the breakdown in how much cheaper it is to craft them through the different levels, like the different ranks. So if this is something that you do want to do, I do recommend getting up to rank 3. I mean, you can obviously do whatever you want, but that's how much it costs.
Yep. Now, obviously, the 4 decks do the 4 suits do something different. Now, Dominion is crit strike. Hellfire is
Dominion's melee.
Sorry, Dominion is agility or strength stat plus crit strike. Hellfire is intellect and crit strike. Promises is intellect and then it reduces the base mana cost of your spells. And Immortality is agility or strength and increases armor. Now, with all these cards, specifically this expansion, is that the amount of crit strike or mana or armor that they give/reduce depends on the topmost card of the deck, and basically you shuffle the deck periodically. So, there's a minimum and a maximum amount that you can receive. And so for some, this might be great. For some, it might not be worth the gamble. But it really depends. I honestly don't know if they're worth grabbing on a hunter. But, crit strike's okay.
The mana cost is nice, but I've built my gear around mana regen so that I can spam chain heal to my heart's content. They can be really great though. I believe they can be pretty good. Like all crafted gear, these can be upgraded with Obliterum. So the base trinket that you craft will be eye level 815, and you can upgrade that with Obliterum 8 times, I think it is now. The other thing that Professor Thaddeus Paleo sells are techniques, like new tech. Sorry, I'll put my mouth back in. The technique Prophecy Tarot, 2 ranks. This will just craft you a standard trinket, which inscriptionists tend to get pretty often. The first one will cost you 5 tickets, and the higher rank will cost you 35 Dark Moon prize tickets. Can't speak properly. But the point is, the inscription trinkets every expansion tend to like for the Dark Moon Fair, tend to be a bit of a big deal, and people do tend to craft them. So, yeah, if you don't particularly want the trinket yourself, but you've got nothing to spend your inks and stuff on, you might like to craft some cards and try and make some gold.
Free trinkets for your alts, if nothing else.
Or that too, yeah, absolutely. Well, not quite free, but yes, they can be good ones to just send over to your alts, absolutely. But if it would have been really nice to have the healer one as a freshly dinged one, because mana is pretty rough at the start.
Yeah. So there are obviously the daily quests, which there's not many daily quests in Legion, but there are daily quests in the Dark Moon Fair. Now there are 6 mini games, and each of them give you a game prize, and the prize will contain tickets. Obviously, the number of tickets will vary. Now, to play these games, you will need Dark Moon game tokens, which you can purchase from game vendors around the fair.
Yeah, you can ask people and say, where can I buy them? And they'll put them on your minimap as well if you get lost. There's quite a few of them around.
Yeah. The big one that everybody loves is Blazing Wings, which is the Firebird Challenge, which shoots you into the air and gives you a pair of blazing wings, which is a buff that only lasts 10 seconds. Every time you fly through a ring, it resets the buff back to 10 seconds. To be able to do the achievements, Flying High, Ringmaster, and Brood of Elisrazor, you have to know where you're going. Flying around in circles will probably bite you in the butt if you don't know where you're going, because Brood of Elisrazor requires flying through 50 rings in one session. Obviously, it gives you the toy, the Blazing Wings, but...
Best toy in game.
Yes. The thing is, there are, I believe, a total of 55 rings in the air.
I think there's more than that now.
Okay, because I think I got like 54 and just missed one when I got my toy for when I did it. But yeah. So obviously there are maps to plan out the best route. If you haven't done this, give yourself at least a couple of tries. Don't expect to get it on the first go, because it's a real pain. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the comments from people to see how many there are. And it doesn't say, but like there were issues when this first came out where the rings were shared with other people, which made it near on impossible. It really did. I ended up having to go to a completely dead server that I thankfully had a character still on and did it on there, which was good. But I think that they fixed that now, which makes it a lot easier to get it done. Like, the videos are really helpful but it really does just take practice. And for me, when I did it, I ended up deviating a bit from what the guides were telling me because I just, for what, like, I'm not very good with the, I'm doing hand gestures that you can't see, but things like the spatial awareness things and stuff, I'm not very good at them. So I did what worked for me, and you might have to do the same thing yourself. But it is definitely one that is worth persevering. You can try this as many times as you like. It's just going to cost you a token each time you try it, so just be prepared for that.
Pretty much.
But it's so worth it. I'm sorry, but
yes,
the toy's so pretty.
The toy
is so worth it.
The next one is the Human Cannonball.
I hate this one.
Which is to accumulate 5 cannon target points by landing in the water. The target in the water, I should say. Now, when you're shot at the cannon, you get a temporary pair of wings. And obviously, depending on how close to the center you land, you'll get either 1, 3, or 5 points. Landing in the dead center will give you 5 points, so you only need to do it once. And the best part is, there's a teleportologist Fuzzlebob who will port you straight back to the cannon either way. Like, even if you get 5, even if you get 1, it'll take you straight back, which is really helpful. Saves you running. And yeah, obviously this can take a few times unless you get it dead center the first time, which not difficult, you just have to get the timing down. So do you want to take the next ones?
Yeah. The next one is Ring Toss, which is the one with the turtle, and it's got a little spike on its back, and you've got the rings on the turtle. So for this one, you need to just get 3 rings on the Dark Moon Turtle. I disagree with the advice on this one. I find it easier to zoom in and go first person, but that's just me. But the guide suggests angle your camera to aim downwards towards the ground instead of at the tent to help you aim better. You're going to figure out pretty quickly what works best for you. For the daily, to get your little prize packet and stuff, if you don't care about the achievements, you only need to get 3. However, if you need to get if you want to try and get the achievement, you need to get 10 successful rings in one go. And I believe you only get 10 rings. So for this particular one, it's just going to take some practice. They did change the way that the turtle can wander around. Like, it can go off, it kind of has a central point, and it can wander off in 6 different directions, and then kind of come back to the center. So you've just kind of got to wing it. Watch it for a while. Like, there isn't actually a timer for this. You can just watch it for a little while and chuck the rings when you feel comfortable. And of course, if you fail, you can keep trying. However, if you do get the achievement, so the achievement is called Triumphant Turtle Tossing, which is totally appropriate. The toy that you get is called the Dark Moon Ring Flinger toy. And anyone who has played Sonic the Hedgehog will recognize the animation that happens with this. So when you use the toy, it will like shoot a whole bunch of rings from you, just like Sonic. It's really cool. I really like it. The next one is the next daily that you can do is called Shooting Arcade, and the achievement, the quest is called He Shoots, He Scores. For this one, you need to score 25 points in 60 seconds.
I like this one.
I hate this one so much. You probably like it because you're a hunter, but I hate this one.
It's pretty straightforward. You just move left and right. Don't turn your character. Just use kind of the
use your
Q
mouse.
And
Right click on your mouse. I just use my right click on my mouse, and so I can just I'm moving my visual. I'm not actually moving my character physically.
Oh, I just sidestep my character.
Oh no, I don't do that at all. I just stand still.
That's the easiest way for me.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like with a lot of these, there will be everyone will be able to do it their own way. So, I have it my way, Spaz has it his way, but don't feel bad if your way is completely different to that as well. Like, if you need to, I don't know, do it backwards, all the more power to you. For this one, you can actually get, there's an achievement called Quick Shot, which when you, if you do it really, really quickly, so the thing will have an arrow above it, and that's the target that you need to hit. And if you can shoot that twice before that target goes away, you'll get the Quick Shot, which once you've done this a few times, you realize, actually, that's really easy now. So Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Can I take next one?
Yeah, sure. So the next one is the Tonk Challenge, which is to use your Dark Moon Tonk to destroy 30 Tonk targets in the time allowed. This one's annoying.
I agree, but I was reading some advice on this that I'm going to try.
Okay, so to get as many hits in as possible, you need to constantly keep moving so that the little zeppelins that fly around don't hit you. Drive through the Tonk targets to give you a little bit more accuracy. And there are a whole bunch of tips in the comment section on the Wahed page that we'll obviously have a link to. Now, if you get 45 hits in one session, you'll get the achievement Ace Tonk Commander and the Dark Moon Tonk Controller. I don't think I have this toy.
This is the only one that I don't have, and it drives me up the wall. But having read the comments, so the comments talk about like the tip to not like to keep moving seems to be the strongest point, and also just kind of keep spamming the shooting button and running through the targets, because it's going to auto target for you even if it's behind you, which is good to know. So just keep moving around, try and stay away from the Zeppelin. Apparently if you keep moving, the enemy Tonks won't attack you either, because they can't can't target on you or anything. So but yeah, this is the only achievement one that I don't have, and I want that toy.
Maybe next week you'll let us know. The last one is Whack-A-Mole, which is to score 30 points by whacking the gnolls. A regular gnoll is worth 1 point, Hogger gnoll is worth 3, and if you hit any of the little baby ones, you'll get stunned.
And rightly so, you shouldn't bash babies.
Yes. Now, obviously, it's in a 3x3 grid, so you have to run around a little bit, but it's fairly easy. Now, if you can score 45 points in one session, you get the achievement That's Whack and the Hog's Studded Collar. Actually, I don't know if I've got this one yet.
Yeah, I've got this one. I was determined to get it. Like, I'm going to get it. My biggest piece of advice for this one, this is definitely one that you want to do top down. So just angle your camera down so that you're looking straight down, because you can see when they're about to pop up, they kind of like, you'll see a little bit of their head halfway up, and then they'll shoot all the way up. It's easy to tell which ones are going to be the big hogger gnolls and which ones are just like the little ones. So yeah, do that. And try and run for the ones that are freshly popped, not the ones that have been popped up for a bit, because chances are they'll despawn before you get there. Because there's like this, like, it's like a bit of global cooldown of bashing the hammer that takes things out. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, there are world bosses in the Dark Moon Fair. You have both Moonfang, which was added in patch 5.4. You can summon it by killing the Moonfang Snarler, and then a bunch of elite Moonfang Dreadhowl. And it spawns in the northwest part of the island. You can get the Moonfang's Pelt, which is an item, which will give you 10 Dark Moon prize tickets. Now, obviously, because it's a world boss, you're going to be difficult. I don't think it's soloable.
I don't know if this, because for the last 2 expansions, this has been made more difficult each time a new expansion came out. So I don't know if the same thing happened for Legion. It may have. If it hasn't, it should be soloable, or 1 or 2 people. But if it's current, no, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yes. So there are a few other things that Moonfang can drop. The Shimmering Moonstone, which is a temporary mount that can be used during the Dark Moon Fair and disappears afterwards. Moon, which is a pet, which is a beast battle pet.
It's a great pet, by the way.
Yes. It has Moonfang, Howl, Moon Tears, Bite, Crouch, and Moon Dance. And if you do /dance to it, it will dance with you, which is really cool.
Moon.
Yeah. Yes. You have Moonfang's Paw, which is a toy that disguises yourself to look like Moonfang for 10 minutes. And Moonfang's Shroud, which is a toy that transforms your helmet.
Yeah, two things that if you're a shaman, probably you don't care too much about because you turn into like a ghost wolf,
armor.
and I have that. Yeah, and their helm is like a wolf helm, and I'm pretty sure most shamans have at least one wolf type helm. But still cool toys nonetheless, and they'll put you towards getting your mount for, all the toys, so still worth doing.
And the other one is the Dark Moon Rabbit. Now, the Dark Moon Rabbit, obviously Monty Python reference, it's a killer rabbit that was added in patch 5.0.4. It's very easy, and doesn't really require strategy. It will spawn in a cave to the southeast of the fair. It's a rare spawn. It's about a 36-hour time on it. Yeah, killing the rabbit gets you the achievement That Rabbit's Dynamite, which is just more Monty Python reference roll up into one. And he always drops the Dark Moon Rabbit pet, which sells for pretty big on the auction house. And obviously he has a really long respawn timer. So if the Dark Moon Rabbit's up, you're better off killing it than not.
Yeah, I wonder if this one, if you do it as like a group, everyone gets the pet, or if it's one per kill.
I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's personal. Like everybody gets one.
Yeah,
but
I'm not 100%
it's such
sure.
a rare that I think you can solo it. So I don't believe that it'd be out there in the world to be like everybody come get it. So
it would be nice if they did it though.
Yeah, that's true. And that is everything for part 1.
No, only one lucky person will get the rabbit.
Oh, only one.
According to the comments. So, yeah, be prepared for this. The reason why this costs so much. The auction house is because it has such a long spawn timer. It's only available for 1 week at a time each month, and there's only one that will drop when it is up. So there's a very limited number that are actually available to get each month.
Yep.
And it just looks so cool.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, so that's everything.
No, that's part 1.
Collection-wise.
Yeah.
In regards to how to get your tokens. And next week we will talk about how to spend them. Obviously.
Yeah, so I think, I couldn't check in game before this, but Darkmoon Fair starts this Sunday, is that right? If it's the first Sunday of each month?
This Sunday, yes.
Yeah, so
which means it will be live when we do next week.
Yeah.
And hopefully people will be getting their tokens together, and then when we put up next episode about what to spend them on, they will have a bunch to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I honestly don't even know off the top of my head like what some of the things are other than the mounts, which obviously is the Dark Moon Dancing Bear, which is hilarious because it does the dance
and toys. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
There is so much stuff. The other thing that we'll cover next week that we just didn't have time for tonight is the new race that came out last expansion, I think it was. So, and there's quite a lot of achievements in there and a rotation of rewards and stuff as well. So we'll talk about that next week too.
Yeah, and so we've gotten a few tweets this week. A few happy collectors.
Yes.
We got a tweet from Natani just before the show saying, I was going to log in and get you guys a mount count, but the servers broke. Yeah. Obviously, the servers go down and we go live, so...
Yeah, but they broke this time. They didn't just go down, they broke.
Oh, they broke? What happened?
Yeah, everything just crashed. I had guildies who were in the middle of doing the timed Karazhan run for the mount, so that would have gone. There were people in my Twitter feed who were in the middle of a Mythic plus 12, so unfortunate timing, but it is what it is. That happens, I guess.
Yeah, that sucks.
It does.
But
we do know that Nat got at least one mount this week.
Yes, And this is the second tweet that she sent us. Well, this was an earlier tweet. She says, I was literally just about to give up. It's 2 a.m. and I'm exhausted, but I found it. The long-forgotten hippogriff.
I'm so happy
Oh
for
my
her.
god. I am so jealous.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in
too.
Azuna, I do a quick run around of all the places that I know that the crystals can spawn, but I've never found one.
You know, I haven't even researched it yet because I'm scared that once I do, I'll just do this all the time. Like, because when I was trying to collect the books for that achievement, I was like, I was constantly doing that, and I'm like, I should be doing other things right now, and instead, I'm looking for books. What a good use of my time! But it
was such a great reward, wasn't it?
It really, well, this mount is a beautiful mount. It really is lovely. So, yeah, I'll look at it.
Oh, I was speaking sarcastically in regards to the books.
Oh, about the books. Yeah, they need to make it a toy. Just make it a toy.
And make it work on the weekend, please.
Yeah, yeah. And we had another tweet.
Yes, we did. Who was it from, Cinder?
It is from Gildina, who tweeted to us Mount 299, which is the Brine Deep bottom feeder, which is from the fishing. So
yes.
Congratulations, 299. Oh my goodness gracious me.
Oh man.
Like, I'm assuming that you've run around onto your pallies and warlocks and healers and leatherworkers and stuff and still want to go, but hopefully, Gildina, you don't have the Darkwater Skate from the Dark Moon Fair, and you can go fish that up on the weekend, and then you'll have your 300.
Yes.
That's what I hope for you.
Now, did we talked about the mount speed update, didn't we?
Yes, yeah, we did this week.
Yeah, we did. Yes.
Underwater mounts, they go faster. Is essentially
yes.
for anyone who missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, I'm like, I remember speaking to you about it, but I don't remember if it was on the show or not.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's all that we've got for this week for tweets and stuff. And obviously next week, Darkmoon Fair, which obviously we're going to be covering what to spend your tokens on, and all the extra races that are around there. Those are fun. Those races are pretty fun.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the same. They can be a bit of a pain. They're fun, but they can be painful.
They can, but they do also have some good rewards, and I like that it's something I can work on my own to get something cool at the end. So
yeah, that's for sure. And so if you guys want to come along next week to our live recording, we record live Tuesday nights at night for us at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Twitch.tv/Reins of Azeroth is where we are. So yeah, if you want to come along and let us know what you want from the Darkmoon Fair, or what you're saving up for. But the show can be found on our website, reignsofazeroth.com. You're probably listening to us on either Podbean, iTunes, or Stitcher. You can check the videos of our live show if you want to look at our wonderful artwork that we get from our wonderful artist Sirius on YouTube. If you search Reins of Azeroth with no spaces, because we don't have enough subscribers to have a custom URL, but I'm sure when we do, it's just going to be YouTube/Reins of Azeroth. So just look for Reins of Azeroth on YouTube. And yes, if you're listening to us on iTunes, a review would be great. We haven't gotten one in a while, from what I can see, unless little thingy I wrote is broken, which I hope it hasn't. And if you're listening to us on Stitcher, you can give us a thumbs up. That would be helpful, because the more ratings we get, the more thumbs up we get, the more likely the system is to recommend us to other people who haven't listened to us yet. Now, obviously, if you have any questions, stories, pictures, that's about it. Pictures of mounts, toys, achievements, you can get in touch with us. Our email address is reignsofazeroth@gmail.com. The Twitter for the show is Reins of Azeroth. I can be found at Spaz Wesson. Cinder is at Cinder_tweets. Tweet at us if you'd like an invitation to our Discord server. And that's about it. I'm not forgetting anything, am I?
No, I don't think so. Lots of information covered this week, and again, we'll have even more next week. But the Dark Moon Fair's really good. And like most important bit, I think at the moment with professions being a bit tougher this expansion, get in there, get your free five skill points, and help yourself.
Yep. Another week of stuff to do, and another week closer to the Brawlers Guild coming back.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why I just can't wait for the Brawlers Guild to be back.
I'm glad,
I really
though.
can't.
That's good. It's good having something to be excited for. Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm really looking forward to seeing what new bosses they come up with. I'm curious about that because I really love that they have this mentality of we can do anything, and that's really cool.
I want it to be difficult. Like, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go into the Brawlers Guild in like an afternoon, and then the next day just be like, I finished it all last night. Like a Brawlers Guild hangover or something. Just be like, it's all done. I've got nothing else to do. Because I actually want the challenge.
Yeah. And look, it was the first lot of bosses were a challenge. I know that people were cursing Hexos for the longest time. And, you know, a couple of other ones that people were just like...
cross-eyed.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then on top of that, there's this solo experience thing that they have
that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Yes. I just want more things to do in WoW that I can do solo.
Yeah. I'm all for the group stuff, but I agree. I do like the solo stuff.
People are too picky for mythics, I find. And
yeah.
I am not going to be 880 plus to do a normal raid. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's the eye level requirements to get into organized groups is a little bit silly.
Even in Group Finder, it's like doing normals, Xavier's link achievements.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How about I link you my I've got 9,999 problems, but a bone white raptor ain't one achievement. How about that? I'll link you that one because that's my favorite.
Yeah,
I should do that at some point.
Ones. If you're not going to specify what achievement to link, I'm just going to pick my favorite.
Yeah, I should do that and see what the person says. But I'm sure they'll just ignore me and be like,
probably,
idiot.
But at least you can have a giggle.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's it for this week, and we'll see everybody next week. Yeah, so the Dark Moon Fair does start this Sunday, so don't forget.
Yeah, see you next week, guys. Bye.
See you next week. Bye. And done. And Sirius is free.
Freedom! Freedom!
I'm here.
I know.
We don't need a full choir.
Yes, we do!
Okay, fine, we do.
Of course we do.
How about... I'm a sorry content producer right now.
Why?
All I got was the slogan done, and it wasn't even by me.
What do you mean?
Because I want to do Christmas cards this year, so I'm custom making them, sort of thing. So I'm actually drawing the front image right now. And I'm like, I don't know what to write on the front. Oh, I'm not good at this.
Here's what you can write.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
What did I say? There was when I was talking about the guide, and I'd said it's so big. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be another one. It can be like the sequel to the hot one.
Yes, please.
Fair enough.
So I have drawn a Pepe on Delibird's head, and Delibird has a present in his hands. But the slogan on it makes me so happy. One of our friends came up with Twisted Tales came up with it, and it is here to Delibird, a Pepe present for you.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
How adorable is that?
That is
I'm
so
like,
cute.
I can't do
See, now I'm just imagining a delibird pulling one of the stuffed Pepes out of a bag
this. That'd be adorable.
instead of him actually having a Pepe on his head. I don't know why.
But they're buddies.
I'm sure they are.
They're burbs. But yeah. Twisted Tales came up with that, and I'm like, how do you do this?
Yeah, that's good though. I
Share
fully
your
support that.
secrets.
Okay. I'm
He's
dead.
real fucking clever when it comes. Ooh, I swore.
It's fine.
Ma.
Oh dear. But yeah, he's real clever when it comes to words and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, teach me.
Teach me your mysterious ways.
Did you have to steal your soul? I'll do it. I don't care. I don't need it.
Okay.
He's incredibly clever, and that's going to be on the Christmas cards I send out because he's amazing. But yeah, you still haven't DM'd me your address, lady.
No, I got really busy this afternoon, so I.
How
didn't get a
could
chance
you?
to.
It's Christmas.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm really sorry.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm an old lady.
You know, an old lady, stop it.
I'm a little old lady. I'm a little old. I'm not a little person. But see, you can't take me anywhere.
We took you to that pub just fine. You were okay there.
Yeah, I know, but like
We
You're
had
on your
fun.
best behavior. Everyone, she kept the swearing down. She wasn't belligerent, and
on this day.
usually, whew, swears up a storm.
I know.
Swears at other customers and wait staff. Like, whew,
Yeah, I'm just
lady,
atrocious.
why?
I don't really do that. I can't swear at like people who are serving other people because they have such awful jobs. And because I've been there, I've done retail, I've done hospitality, and I know how painful it is, and so I always try to be as nice as possible.
Yeah, I've got stories to tell about that too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone some of my favorite threads on Reddit are Tales from Retail and Tales from Tech Support. They're my two favorites because they
Tales
make me
from
feel
Tech
better.
Support is the worst.
It is it's awful, but at the same time I'm just like, but at least I'm not alone. Makes me feel better.
We did have fun when we met up in
Yeah.
with Z and.
Oh, she's so
Claw.
lovely.
I was about to automatically say Neuro and Claw. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yep,
Wasn't
one
both
without
of them.
the other.
No, I can't remember which one's which.
Claw was with
Oh,
us.
Damn stupid. No, because I wanted to say both. I'm like, it was Claw that was with us.
Yeah.
When's he doing another Law segment?
Our next episode is a Law with Claw episode.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
So if you have questions, send them through.
I swear, when I
You're just
listen
gonna
to the
ask?
Law segments, I'm just like, I'm following along, and then all of a sudden I'm like, that's not the way I know it. Oh
Yeah.
shit, I must have been oh god, I've known it the wrong way for so long.
I have such a bad memory with the Law stuff. I'm just like, I don't know.
For me,
I just want to ask, why would you get a Horde to?
Because he's Horde.
You've damaged your body.
But in all seriousness, it's such a cool looking tattoo.
Oh my god,
Like,
it is.
doesn't it look amazing?
yeah, for me, I find a lot of the lore that I know in almost any game, it's kind of a snowball. Like if I start talking about it, I then start remembering more and more of it. But if you ask me about something super specific, I'll be like, I have no idea. But if you ask me something really basic, after like 20 minutes, I'll be able to answer that really specific question. Because it just snowballs.
You've just reminded me I have been forgetting to go do the daily for the birthday. Ugh. I haven't done
I'm
that
not
for a
fussed.
few days. Oh, I am. I wanted all the badges.
I'm waiting for time walking so that I can just run a bunch of them.
Yeah, I know, but I just
Oh wait,
like
this time walking is soon, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I'm not logged in game.
I don't know. I never know. So sad.
You know many things, though.
Not really. Ugh. Ah! Pepe, why?
Offline picture.
Ugh.
Alright, I will cut the stream.
Bye, everybody!
I love you!
See everybody.